Yeah, the air conditioner broke yesterday, so now the apartment feels like toast. You're sitting directly in front of the fan, like it personally betrayed you. Honestly, understandable. The ice cream melted before we got home. The drinks are warm, the couch is warm, even the walls feel warm somehow. Summer's getting aggressive this year outside. Some guy keeps yelling during online games with his window open. I know way too much about his ranking situation now. You tried fixing the air conditioner yourself earlier. Watched one video online, immediately became an engineer somehow. 15 minutes later, you almost dropped the screwdriver into a plant. Operation unsuccessful. We ended up eating watermelon over the sink because neither of us wanted more dishes. Tiny apartment, survival techniques. Music's playing quietly from your old speaker. The left side crackles occasionally. Still sounds better than expensive Bluetooth one somehow. That's probably nostalgia, cheating a little. Around sunset, the heat finally started loosening its grip. Windows open, curtains moving slowly, city noises drifting upward. Motorcycles, distant laughter, plates clinking from nearby restaurants. You leaned against the counter and said, "This feels kinda nice actually," which is insane, honestly. But after a minute, I understood. Some days become memorable, not because they're perfect, because they're slightly uncomfortable, and you survive them with somebody. By midnight, the apartment still wasn't cool, but neither of us cared anymore. Too tired from laughing all day. Nothing happened today, thankfully. No emergencies, no dramatic phone calls, no life-changing conversations. Just a regular Saturday, and honestly, I think I needed that. Woke up around 10:30. The apartment was already warm, 'cause I forgot to close the curtains again. There was some terrible reality show playing quietly from the neighbor's TV. I could hear people yelling about relationships through the wall, which somehow felt comforting. Made coffee too strong, burned toast again. Classic morning performance. Then I spent 40 minutes deciding whether to go outside. You ever do that? Stand near the door, already dressed, still unsure. Eventually I left, mostly because the weather looked too good to waste. The streets were full of tiny moments. Dog tied outside a convenience store, couple sharing headphones, little kid carrying bread bigger than his arms. A delivery scooter almost hit me at the crosswalk. Guy apologized without slowing down. Real city behavior. I wandered into a bookstore for no reason, didn't buy anything, just like being somewhere quiet. One employee was reorganizing shelves while singing under his breath. Badly, very badly, but confidently. Respect. Honestly, around afternoon, you texted, "What are you doing?" I answered, "Walking without purpose." You said, "Same." So we met near the station. No plans, no destination, just moving. That's probably why the day worked so well. Nothing to achieve, no photos to post, no schedule, no trying to make memories on purpose. People forget this now. Sometimes good days happen accidentally. We sat outside a small restaurant until evening. Plastic chairs, cold beer, cars passing slowly beside us. You told me a story I'd already heard twice before. Still listen carefully. That's kinda love too, probably. By night, the whole neighborhood smelled like grilled meat and rain on concrete. Somebody nearby was practicing guitar on a balcony, missing chords constantly, but continuing anyway. I like that. When we finally headed home, you said, crazy how fast weekends disappear. And yeah, maybe they do, but for once, I wasn't trying to hold on to it. Nothing happened today, thankfully. It was enough. Sunday nights feel different at convenience stores, softer somehow. People moving slower between aisles like nobody's mentally ready for Monday yet. We walked there around 10, mostly for snacks, partly because neither of us wanted the weekend ending yet. The automatic doors opened, cold air hitting instantly. Best feeling, honestly. Inside, everything looks strangely peaceful. Microwave humming quietly, coffee machines glowing, one tired employee stocking drinks without looking up. You spent 10 minutes deciding between chips flavors, deeply serious process apparently. I wandered toward the magazine section, half the covers already talking about productivity, morning routines, getting your life together. Terrible timing, honestly. Outside afterward, we sat near the parking lot, sharing instant ramen. Plastic forks, warm night air, cars sliding past slowly under streetlights. You asked, do you think weekends actually get shorter as you get older? Probably. Or maybe we just notice time more now. A motorcycle passed ridiculously loud, interrupting the conversation completely. Real cinematic timing. The city smelled like wet pavement and fried food somewhere nearby. People were still laughing loudly at a restaurant patio. Sounded nice. For a minute, I wished weekends could pause right before ending. Not forever, just until everybody caught their breath again. You finished the last bite of ramen, looked up at the sky and said, guess we survived another week. And weirdly, that felt worth celebrating. We only meant to stay for one drink. That's how those days always start. One coffee, maybe a sandwich, then suddenly it's dark outside and somebody's stacking chairs nearby. The cafe was almost empty when we got there. Just one student pretending to study, an older woman reading without turning pages, and two employees arguing softly about music. You picked the seat near the window, obviously, you always do. Sunlight kept moving across the table, slow enough to notice. I remember your phone buzzing 3 times. You ignored every single one that felt nice. Not important exactly, just rare. The playlist inside the cafe was weird. One jazz song, then old indie rock, then something that sounded ripped from YouTube in 2012. Honestly, perfect playlist. You kept stealing fries off my plate, even though you ordered your own food. At one point, you started talking about childhood vacations, how every summer felt endless back then, and how now even weekends disappear too quickly. I didn't know what to say to that, so I just nodded. Sometimes people don't need answers, they just want company. while thinking out loud. Around 4, the place got crowded. People escaping the heat, groups laughing too loudly. Someone on a terrible first date, you could tell immediately. The guy kept talking like he was giving a presentation. The girl looked spiritually exhausted. You whispered, "Save her." I nearly spit out my drink laughing. Outside, the weather stayed perfect all day somehow. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just soft blue sky, warm sidewalks, tree shadows moving in the wind. At sunset, the windows turned orange. Everything inside the cafe looked slower. Even the noise felt softer. That's when conversations usually get more honest. You started talking quieter, about getting older, about how strange it feels watching everybody slowly become adults. Mortgages, office jobs, back pain, group chats, nobody answers anymore. We laughed about it, but not completely. Then there was this long silence, not awkward, actually kind of beautiful. The employee turned chairs upside down one by one. Music stopped completely. And suddenly we realized we'd stayed there almost 6 hours. Outside, the streets were glowing after dark. That blue color cities get at night. You stretched your arms and said, "We should do this more." And I knew exactly what you meant. Not the cafe, just this. Slow days, long conversations, no real plans, no performance, just being alive beside somebody. We said we'd wake up early, try that bakery near the station, the one everybody keeps posting online, but it was already crowded by 11. People standing outside, holding little number tags like they were waiting for concert tickets. You looked at me and said, "Absolutely not," so we left. Honestly, best decision all day. Crosswalk, light blinking, cars moving too fast. Some guy jogging with terrible posture, holding a green smoothie like his life depended on it. The city always looked strange on weekends, like everybody suddenly remembers they're a person. Outside of work, we walked 3 blocks without talking, not awkward, just warm. He pointed at random apartments, making up fake stories about people living there. That guy definitely owns 3 guitars and never plays any of them. That couple argues quietly. That dog controls the whole house. I nearly choked laughing at that one. Then we found that tiny sandwich place. No sign outside, no aesthetic interior, just fluorescent lights and old menus. Perfect. The owner kept calling everybody boss, even children. You dropped mustard on your sleeve. Didn't notice for 20 minutes. I noticed immediately, but didn't say anything. For some reason, that felt important. After lunch, we ended up near the river again. Feels like we always end up there somehow. A kid was throwing bread at birds, missing every throw completely. His dad looked exhausted, but in a peaceful way. There was music playing from somewhere nearby, maybe a cafe speaker, maybe somebody's phone. One of those songs that makes you remember random years of your life. You ever hear something and suddenly remember a ceiling from an apartment you lived in 10 years ago? It happened to me. You asked what I was thinking about. I said nothing really, which was technically true. Clouds moved in around 4, not rain clouds, just softer ones. The kind that make everything look like an old movie. You bought iced coffee even though you were already cold. I bought lemonade that tasted mostly like water, still drank all of it. Then we sat on a bench for almost an hour, doing absolutely nothing. Couple arguing nearby, someone dropping a glass bottle. Bike tires on pavement, wind through tiny sounds, tiny weekend sounds. At some point, you leaned your head against my shoulder, like it was the most normal thing in the world. Maybe it was. The weird thing is, I can barely remember what we talked about all day, but I remember exactly how it felt. And honestly, that's probably more important. We took the wrong bus on purpose. Well, you called it being spontaneous, I called it terrible navigation skills. Same result, honestly. The driver looked exhausted already, and it wasn't even noon yet. Outside the windows, the whole city felt half awake. Old bookstores opening slowly. Old bookstores opening slowly. People carrying iced coffees bigger than their heads. Dogs refusing to walk any farther. Weekend behavior everywhere. You kept pointing at random cafes saying, that one looks life-changing. None of them were, but I liked your confidence. At some point, we ended up near a neighborhood neither of us recognized. Tiny streets, laundry hanging between buildings, music coming from open windows. Everything looked warmer there somehow. There was this tiny arcade still operating from like 2004. Broken claw machines, sticky floors, one kid absolutely dominating a racing game. Legend, honestly. We spent 40 minutes inside for no reason. You got way too competitive over basketball arcade scores. Accused the machine of cheating twice. Strong emotional commitment. Afterward, we bought canned drinks from a vending machine. Sat on a curb under terrible shade, the kind that barely helps at all. Cars moving slowly nearby, heat rising from the pavement. Someone practicing drums badly from an apartment upstairs. You ever notice how summer weekends sound different from every other season? Like the whole world's slightly lazier around evening. We finally checked the map again. Turns out we were incredibly far from home. You looked at me and said, good. And honestly, yeah, good. Good, 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 good. Nobody wanted to go home yet, so we stayed outside the convenience store. Like every group of tired people eventually does. Plastic chairs, cheap drinks, cold air starting to move through the streets. The city wasn't loud anymore, just glowing. Cars passing occasionally, music leaking from somewhere distant. Somebody laughing across the road. You could tell the night was slowing down. One friend kept retelling the same story badly, still funny somehow. Another disappeared for 20 minutes, then came back with ice cream sandwiches for everybody. Hero behavior, honestly. Teaching her boyfriend how to use a film camera. He looked completely lost. The flash went off accidentally twice. Everybody jumped, perfect moment. There's something about nights like this. Nobody's trying to impress anybody anymore. Makeup fading, hair messy, voices quieter. People become real after midnight. At some some point we started talking about old dreams again, the embarrassing kind. Bands we wanted to start, cities we wanted to move to, versions of ourselves we thought we'd become. Funny thing is, nobody sounded disappointed exactly, just surprised by how fast life moved. Then somebody played old indie songs from their phone speaker. Terrible sound quality, didn't matter at all. Everybody sang anyway. Wrong lyrics, half remembered choruses, laughing through half the lines. Honestly, best version of music. The convenience store owner looked exhausted watching us, but he never told us to leave. Respect forever. By around 2:30, the streets were almost empty. Streetlights buzzing quietly, summer air cooling down. Tiny bits of conversation floating around the parking lot. And for a second, it felt like the night could stay there forever. Nobody wanted to go home yet, not because home was bad, because moments like this disappear too fast once you notice them.
Somebody set up speakers in the yard again. Extension cord running out the kitchen window. Cool up by the steps, already half ice water. Sun hitting everything at the right angle. The neighbor's kid came over without asking. We gave him a soda and he just stayed. That's how these things go on a weekend. Nobody planned it, everybody came. The playlist hit something from about 15 years back. Everybody had an opinion about that. Two people started arguing about the original version. Nobody remembered who was right. Somebody flipped the burgers wrong, swore they didn't, absolutely swore. We ate them anyway, they were fine. Everything tastes better outside in July. Backyard frequencies, Saturday signal. Everybody locked into the same groove. Backyard frequencies, nothing's official, just the summer and the people and the food. Backyard frequencies. By 4 o'clock, nobody wanted to leave, but nobody would say that out loud. We just kept refreshing our drinks and finding new reasons to stay in the yard. Somebody brought a frisbee out of nowhere. Nobody was good at it. We played for an hour. The dog got involved. That was the end of the frisbee. The dog kept it. That seemed fair. Saturday signal, everybody locked into the same groove. Backyard frequencies, nothing's official, just the summer and the people and the food. Hey! Backyard frequencies. Sometime for around 8. Nobody noticed until the yard got darker. Somebody found the string lights in the We hung them crooked, they looked great. Stayed out past when we should've. The kind of night that ends by accident. One person leaves and then suddenly everyone's leaving. Standing in the driveway for another 40 minutes. Woo! Backyard frequencies, Saturday signal. Everybody locked in to the same groove. Backyard frequencies, nothing's official. Just the summer and the people and the food. Backyard frequency. Just a dog. Just the sound. Just the people sticking around. Just the summer while it lasts. Come back soon. Come back fast.
Woke up somewhere close to 10, curtains dancing in the wind. You said we should make pancakes, but we never really did. Now walking down the alley, looking for a place to eat. Every cafe looks inviting, every street feels half asleep. Late start, blue sky, good day to waste some time. We miss breakfast again, but honestly I don't mind. Weekend mornings always disappear before we realize. Coffee first then nowhere, talking just to hear your voice. Funny how the smallest things can make a day feel warm. Tiny bookstore near the station, playing old acoustic songs. You were laughing at the postcard, so we stayed a little long. Sunlight falling on the sidewalk, people moving nice and slow. Nobody is really rushing, that's the part I love the most. No rush, no stress, just another weekend mess. We miss breakfast again, but honestly I don't mind. Weekend mornings always disappear before we realize. Coffee first then nowhere, talking just to hear your voice. Funny how the smallest things can make a day feel warm. Someday we'll probably miss this, these lazy afternoons, the half-empty coffee cups, the songs we always used to use. We miss breakfast again, sunlight painted on your hair. Nothing important really happened. Still, I wish we stayed right there. Coffee first then nowhere, walking slow beneath the trees. Funny how a simple day can stay with you for years. The train ride felt longer, coming home tonight. Not sad exactly, just quiet. Everybody looked tired in soft ways. A guy asleep against the window, someone carrying flowers home. Teenagers laughing too loudly near the doors. Normal weekend train energy. You got off 6 stops earlier. Waved once through the glass, then disappeared into the crowd immediately. That part always feels strange, how people vanish so fast in cities. 1 second, somebody's beside you for hours. Next second, nothing. The train kept rattling forward, lights flickering across everybody's faces. Some kid was humming to himself quietly. One woman reading messages, smiling at her phone. Somebody still wearing sunglasses at night indoors. Insane confidence, honestly. I kept replaying random parts of the day. The ramen place with sticky tables. You stealing my drink without asking. That tiny bookstore near the station. The owner remembered you somehow. Said, haven't seen you in a while. You looked weirdly happy after that. People underestimate being remembered. It matters more than we admit. Outside the window, apartment lights blurred together. Thousands of little lives happening at once. Laundry, arguments, late dinners, movies playing too loud. I wonder how many people tonight thought this day went by too fast. Probably more than we realize. By the time my stop arrived, the train car was nearly empty. Just me and a guy carrying takeout noodles carefully like treasure. Honestly respected that deeply. The air outside felt colder suddenly, like the weekend was ending in real time. And while walking home, I caught myself already missing today, even though technically it wasn't over yet. Your apartment has good light around 5:30. That's the first thing I notice. Not the furniture, not the records, not even the giant plant slowly taking over the kitchen. Just the light. Everything turns gold for maybe 20 minutes. Even dirty dishes look kind of beautiful. You were making coffee, half awake, still wearing that oversized college sweatshirt again. I asked if you ever wash it. You ignored the question completely. Strong strategy. Honestly, outside some guy was practicing trumpet terribly. Same 3 notes over and over. At first annoying, then somehow part of the atmosphere. You opened the windows anyway. The city sounded soft today. Buses, distant conversations, plates clinking somewhere downstairs, weekend noises. You ever notice how different cities sound on Saturdays? Like everybody exhales a little. We spend most of the afternoon doing absolutely nothing productive. You organized books for an hour, then accidentally made them messier. I tried helping, made things dramatically worse. Expected outcome at one point. We ended up lying on the floor, listening to old music, not talking much, just pointing at songs we forgot existed. He said, this one feels like being 19. And somehow I understood exactly what you meant. There are songs that smell like old apartments, songs that feel like cheap beer, train stations, summer evenings, people you don't talk to anymore. Music does this sometimes. Around sunset, the whole room looked unreal. Strange walls, long shadows, dust floating through light. I remember wishing the moment would slow down slightly, not forever, just a little. Then your neighbor started vacuuming aggressively upstairs, and the spell broke immediately, honestly. Kind of perfect timing. Real life always interrupts things eventually. It's probably why moments matter at all. I said that's not a reason to stay home. Threw a jacket in the back just in case, and the umbrella that's been there since March. Took the bridge road out of town, the one that crosses over where the river bends wide. You can see the whole sky from there on a clear day. It was almost a clear day. First town we hit had a street fair going, booths selling things nobody needs. We bought a wooden spoon and some hot sauce and a candle that smelled like a library. The band in the square was playing too loud, but the song was good, so we stayed for two. Found a bench under a tree that was leaking sap. Sat on it anyway. Trunk, just in case, 60%, and we went anyway. Sun came out around noon, didn't need it, left it there for the next time we might. Umbrella in the trunk, that's the whole plan. Take the long road and see how it lands. Best days I know didn't start with a forecast, they just started and we went. Tall grass, skipped stones, I was better than you expected. You were better than I let on. We stayed until the gnats found us, which was about 40 minutes, which was enough. Umbrella in the trunk, just in case, 60%, and we went anyway. Sun came out around noon, didn't need it, left it there for the next time. Start with a forecast, they just started and we went. On the way back we hit the rain after all, about 15 minutes, hard and fast. We pulled under a gas station awning, bought 2 bad coffees and waited it out. You were laughing about something I don't even remember what now. Stopped as fast as it started. We drove home in the clean air after. Umbrella in the trunk, just in case, 60%, and we went anyway. Sun came out around noon, didn't need it, left it there for the next time we might. Umbrella in the trunk, that's the whole plan. Take the long road and see how it lands. Best days I know didn't start with a forecast, they just started and we went 60%. We went anyway, 60%. We always go anyway. We went anyway. Oh, oh, oh. We always go.
city around noon on a Saturday. No particular reason, just needed the road. Took the state route instead of the highway, the kind that goes through towns you almost missed. Gas stations with one pump and a bell on the door, a diner with a specials board written in marker. Ordered coffee and something I couldn't finish, left a decent tip and got back in the car. The fields out here go on longer than you'd think, flat and golden going all the way to the horizon. A water tower with a town name I can't pronounce, painted over once, you can still see the old one underneath. Past a farm stand, pulled over without deciding to, bought a bag of peaches from a woman who didn't make small talk, just took the money, handed over the bag. I respected that. By mid-afternoon I'd lost the radio signal, drove in quiet for about 20 miles, then found a station playing something old, kept it on even through the static. The light was changing, that late day angle, making everything look like it meant something. I wasn't sad exactly, just full of something I couldn't name. The long way home takes longer than it used to, but the long way home is how I find my way back. Through every back road and every wrong turn, something in me gets returned. I always get there, I just go the long way home. Pulled over at an overlook before the last stretch, sat on the hood and ate one of the peaches. Juice ran down my wrist, I didn't care. The valley was lit up, orange and pink. Thought about the week, then stopped thinking about it. Thought about nothing for a while. It's harder than it sounds, and easier than anything else I tried this week. The long way home takes longer than it used to, but the long way home is how I find my way back. Through every back road and every wrong turn, something in me gets returned. I always make it back, I just take the long way. Got home just after dark, porch light was on, I don't remember leaving it. Sat in the driveway a few minutes extra, the engine ticking as it cooled. Brought in the peaches, put them on the counter. Still 3 left, I'll have them tomorrow. Open the window before I went to bed. The night air smelled like the road. The long way home takes longer than it used to, but the long way home is how I find my way back. Through every back road and every wrong turn, something in me gets returned. I always get there, I just go the long way home. Long way home. after 9. Didn't check the time, just follow the light. It was coming through the curtain at an angle that made the whole room feel like it was painted. Made coffee in the French press slower than usual. Watched it bloom and sink the way it does. Sat at the table with no particular plan, just the mug in both my hands. The window was cracked, maybe 2 inches wide, enough to hear the street but keep the outside out. Somebody somewhere was mowing a lawn. The sound of it felt like the whole season. I flipped through 3 albums before one stuck, an old record I hadn't played in years. The needle hissed before the first track, that specific quiet before the music. Wrote nothing, read nothing, answered nothing. Moved from the table to the couch, put a blanket on even though it wasn't cold. It was just that kind of morning. Watched a cloud cross the window slow, the way time moves when you're not asking it to hurry. Then another one, then just blue, a slow burn Sunday. Nobody's waiting on me. Slow burn Sunday. The whole day unspooling easy. Nowhere to be, nothing to prove. Just this groove. By afternoon I made a second pot, reheated something from the fridge, ate standing up. Looked out at the backyard, the light was gold now. The grass needed cutting, but not today. Thought about calling someone, thought about it for a while, then just didn't. And that was fine. Slow burn Sunday, slow burn Sunday. Nobody's waiting on me. Slow burn Sunday. It does in summer, orange first, then pink, then that particular gray. I stayed at the window a little longer than made sense, watching it finish, then turned on the lamp, and the day was done, and I hadn't done a thing, and it was enough. Slow burn Sunday, slow burn Sunday. Nobody's waiting. This groove. Slow burn. Slow burn. Slow burn.
Nobody dressed up tonight. That's how I knew it was gonna be good. Old hoodies, wrinkled shirts, someone wearing slippers outside for no reason. Real friendship behavior. The rooftop smelled like beer and takeout food. Plastic table, tiny speaker, one broken chair nobody trusted. City lights stretching forever behind us. You ever notice how people become softer at night? Like everybody stops pretending around 11. One friend talked about quitting his job, Another admitted he still misses his ex sometimes. Nobody gave advice, we just listened, that felt rare. There was grilled meat burning slightly somewhere nearby. Music echoing from another building, some couple arguing in the distance, strangely comforting sounds. At one point, somebody started singing old karaoke songs badly. Everybody joined in eventually. Wrong lyrics, wrong notes, full confidence, perfect atmosphere, honestly. The air got colder around midnight. People started speaking quieter. Those kinds of conversations only happen late. About getting older, about parents, about whether anybody actually knows what they're doing. He sat beside me, eating convenience store ice cream, half melted already, and said, I thought adulthood would feel more official. Nobody answered immediately, because yeah, exactly. And somebody changed the music again. Suddenly, everybody was laughing over nothing. The city glowing underneath us like it had all the time in the world. We stayed up there until almost morning. Not because the night was extraordinary, because nobody wanted regular life to start again yet. There's laundry hanging in the kitchen again, because the balcony's too full, and honestly we're both too lazy to fix it. The apartment smells like fabric, soft inner coffee, and something slightly burned. Probably breakfast. You're dancing badly while folding shirts. Not real dancing, more like moving around with confidence. Same thing, honestly. Outside, somebody's motorcycle keeps failing to start. It's been happening for like 15 minutes, kinda rooting for him now. Weekend sunlight hits differently, makes ugly rooms feel cinematic, makes unfinished lives feel temporary. You ask me if I think we're doing okay lately. I said we own 3 different hot sauces now. That feels like progress. You laughed so hard, you dropped all the socks. Worth it. The speaker keeps disconnecting every few songs, so the silence arrives randomly and weirdly. Those moments feel nicest. You humming quietly, water running in the sink, wind pushing the curtains around. Tiny sounds of people trying their best. That's probably my favorite genre, honestly. By afternoon, everything's drying slowly by the windows. The whole apartment glowing golden. For a second, life feels incredibly manageable. Not perfect, just manageable, which might actually be better. We said we weren't hungry anymore. Then 20 minutes later you were searching. Best late night burger near me. Classic us. The highway looks silver tonight. Street lights reflecting off the windshield. Old pop songs playing quietly through broken speakers. You kept changing the volume every 30 seconds. Too loud, too quiet, too loud again. At some point, we missed the exit completely. Didn't even care. That's the thing about weekends after midnight. Nobody really knows where they're going. this gas station near the river. Bright lights, moths everywhere. One exhausted employee drinking canned coffee. We stopped there for snacks first. Bought things we absolutely didn't need. Gum, chips, energy drinks neither of us would finish. You found sunglasses inside the store somehow at 2 in the morning. Incredible purchase, honestly. Back in the car, the air smelled like summer. Pavement, windows halfway open. City still awake around us. Some people think happiness has to be huge, but honestly, sometimes it's just fries in the passenger seat and somebody singing badly beside you. The burger place was packed, couple students, 3 guys clearly recovering from terrible decisions. Everybody looked alive though, that's what I remember most. Alive, you stole half my fries again. I pretended to be annoyed like always. Then we sat in the parking lot afterward, too full to move. Music still running quietly, watching strangers come and go under neon lights. And suddenly you said, promise we still do stuff like this when we're old. I laughed at first, then realized you meant it. There's something kind of beautiful about grocery store parking lots at sunset. Not beautiful in a movie way, more like everybody looks tired but alive. Shopping carts everywhere, windows glowing orange, people arguing about dinner plans. Normal life stuff, we stopped there because you needed shampoo. That's literally it, not some dramatic reason. You disappeared into the store for 20 minutes and came back with candles, chips, a plant, and somehow no shampoo. Classic. I stayed outside the whole time, watching people load groceries into trunks. An old couple moving slowly, like they'd done this together for 40 years. Teenagers laughing too loudly over absolutely nothing. A delivery driver eating fries alone in his car. Honestly, he looked peaceful. The sky kept getting brighter somehow right before sunset. Pink clouds, power lines, birds circling near the lights. I remember thinking, this feels weirdly important, even though nothing happened. You came back carrying iced coffee too. Said, I think weekends should legally be longer. I agreed immediately. We drove around after that, no destination, just taking roads that looked interesting. Every song on the radio sounded older than it actually was. At one red light, the car next to us was singing louder than we were. Windows down, terribly off-key. Respect, honestly. We passed baseball fields, apartment balconies, people grilling outside, one family dancing badly to music from a Bluetooth speaker. That's the kind of thing nobody photographs, but maybe they should. By the time we got hungry again, everything was blue outside. Streetlights reflecting on the windshield. You fell asleep for maybe 10 minutes, head against the window, mouth slightly open. I should have taken a picture, but it felt nicer not to. Some moments deserve privacy, even happy ones. When I dropped you off, you said, today was fun. Like you sounded surprised by it. And after you went inside, I stayed parked there for a minute, listening to the engine tick quietly, watching apartment lights turn on one by one, thinking maybe a good life probably looks exactly like this.
Somebody dragged an extension cord across the yard. The speaker's been going since 4, maybe before. Ice chest between two long chairs, no one's real sure whose. The neighbor's dog came through the fence, and nobody should. The light was doing that thing it does in late July. Everything golden, slow, and a little bit high. You were telling a story I'd half heard before, about the summer you drove cross country, slept on floors. I wasn't bored, I just liked the way you told it again. Someone said something that made everyone laugh, the kind of laugh that takes a second to arrive, then hits all at once, then takes a while to finish. We all looked at each other afterward, the way you do when something's just exactly right. And nobody needs to say it. Golden hour gang, all of us out here doing nothing well. The kind of evening you won't remember clearly, but you'll never quite forget. By 7 the fireflies were starting to show. Somebody pointed, we all went quiet for a beat, just watching. The sky went pink, then purple, then a deep kind of blue. The speaker shuffled to something slow. We all knew nobody changed it, nobody talked. Why makes you feel like you got something right? We didn't do anything remarkable, we just showed up and stayed. Somebody had to leave first, they always do. Then 2 more, then goodbyes took 20 minutes. Then the quiet kind of settled back in, and it was just the ones who hadn't figured out how to go yet. Golden hour gang, all of us out here not quite ready to leave. The kind of evening that keeps recommending itself right up until it doesn't. Walk back through the house Clock's around 10 or 11. Glasses in the sink, chairs still out in the yard. Somebody left a flannel on the fence post. I folded it and left it on the rail. Turned off the speaker, killed the extension cord. The yard went quiet, the way yards go quiet when it's over. Looked at it for a second, then went inside. Golden hour gang, all of us gone now, somewhere in the dark. The kind of evening that takes a few days to understand what it was. Golden hour, golden hour gang. Still pulling on a shoe. You're already outside by the car with coffee for two. I said, give me 30 seconds. You said, I'll give you 10. You counted out loud, I ran. This has happened again. First booth is lavender, second one is jam. You stop at the honey guy who knows your name. I can't. I'm holding both the bags and the parking validation. You're in a conversation about late season pollination. Yeah. We split a grilled corn in the middle of the aisle. A piece fell on my shirt. You pointed at it with a smile. Had a hand-painted sign. You read it out loud twice. Imperfect, but they're fine. You bought 6 of them. I didn't question it. Farmer's market, baby. Strawberries on your sleeve. You told me the tomatoes were architecturally achieved. I didn't ask what that means. I just nodded and believed. Farmer's market, baby, I'd follow you down any aisle. Farmer's market, baby, any street, any Saturday mile. We stood in line for coffee at the cart by the gate. Got the last 2 paper cups before they had to make more. You handed yours to a woman with a stroller who seemed tired. I pretended I didn't see so you wouldn't feel weird about it. But I saw. There's a kid playing guitar for quarters near the tree. Same 3 chords looping, watching people's feet. We stopped without talking about stopping, just did. The song wasn't anything special, he wasn't quite into. But we stood there for 4 minutes and I looked at you. Farmer's market, baby, strawberries on your sleeve. You told me the tomatoes were architecturally achieved. I still don't know what that means. I think you made it up. Farmer's market, baby, I think you might have made that up. Expensive jam, the one we talked about and walked away from. You slowed down, I slowed down. We looked at it for a second, put it back.
Walk the rest of the way home, talking about the jam, the farmer's market, baby. Strawberries on your sleeve. You told me the tomatoes were architecturally achieved. I don't know what we're doing, I just know that I believe in a Saturday with you.
In a Saturday with you. Any Saturday.
Any Saturday.
Any Saturday with you.
Checked in on Friday. It was supposed to be one night. Somewhere on Saturday morning, I started feeling not quite right. Not wrong, just the checkout time was noon, and noon felt rude. You were reading something I'd never heard of on the balcony. I was watching the marina and wondering if that boat goes anywhere. It probably doesn't, it's probably decorative, but I like thinking about it. The maid knocked twice, we didn't answer. Left the do not disturb and ordered room service eggs, which took forever and were perfect. Time does that thing on weekends at the coast, folds in on itself, and you lose track of what you wanted most. We didn't have an agenda, we were bad at having one, and the sun just kept on being the sun. Walked down to the beach around 1 in the afternoon. The good spot was taken, but we found a worse one that turned out fine. You said something about the color of the water. I said, I know. A kid was chasing a bird that clearly didn't want to be chased. A guy was reading a thriller with the most dramatic cover. We made up the plot in our heads. Ours was better. I don't know what it means to do nothing well, but I think we were getting close. It was hard to tell. Every hour that passed just kept recommending itself like a song you don't skip. Late checkout, 1 more hour. The ice is melting in the cooler by the door. Late checkout, somewhere between wherever we came from and wherever we're going. And for now, that gap is ours. Late checkout, let's stay. We finally left around 4. Drove with the windows down through the first town after the bridge. You fell asleep before the highway. I didn't wake you. Late checkout, 1 more hour. Even now the drive home felt like something. Late checkout, radio low. You asleep and me watching the road, and the afternoon just fading into the dashboard light. Late checkout, yeah, alright. Late checkout, let's stay.
on the kitchen towel. The cold kind, the good kind, that stays with you a while kind. Steam off the mug I poured too full. The whole apartment sitting quiet, sitting still. Light coming sideways through the blinds, making stripes across the counter, the slow kind. No phone yet, no reason yet, no sound. Just the hum the refrigerator makes when no one's around. I read 3 pages of a book I'd marked last fall. Forgot what I had marked it for at all. Made a second cup, a little stronger this time. Sat back down in the same chair, that's fine. The neighbor's kid is learning something on guitar. Same 4 notes from across the yard. I didn't mind, I kinda liked the loop, the way something unfinished still fills up the room. Saturday smells like coffee and old wood and morning, and nothing that has to happen is happening today. Wrote half a sentence in a notebook I keep for the things I think are right before I sleep. Couldn't finish it, the thought just went somewhere, so I left it there, a half a thought mid-air. Opened the window just a crack for the breeze. The curtain lifted once and then was still again at ease. There's a thing that happens on a weekend morning that I can't explain, but I keep trying. Saturday smells like coffee and old wood and morning, and nothing that has to happen is happening today. By noon I'd done almost nothing I could name, and somehow felt less hollow than the whole last week became. The light had shifted, warmer, lower now. I didn't track when it moved or even how. Just noticed all at once the room was gold, the kind of afternoon that doesn't let you go. I stayed there till the colors started to gray. That was Saturday. That was the whole of the day. Saturday smells like coffee and something like staying, and nothing that I missed was worth the leaving. Nothing worth the leaving.
Alarm clock's off, I threw it somewhere last night. Sunlight's hitting the curtains and it's already bright. Coffee sitting cold on the counter by the door. I've been awake for 20 minutes, maybe more. Jeans from the floor, the ones without the tear. Grabbed the keys, didn't check the weather, didn't care. Nothing's scheduled, nothing's late, nothing's due. Just wherever this old road wants to run me through. Hey! The gas gauge reads a quarter, that's enough for now. Took the long way around the reservoir somehow. Oh, play the shuffling to a song I half forgot, the kind that gets stuck in your chest whether you like it or not. Pulled in at the hardware store just for the smell. Stayed 20 minutes, didn't buy a thing to tell. The guy behind the counter nodded, I nodded back. That's the whole conversation and I'm fine with that. Windows down, going nowhere specific. Miles of road and none of it is traffic. Singing something wrong but singing it loud.
waitress called me hung without a second thought. Brought the coffee back before I even asked. She read somebody's newspaper they left behind. Sports section crossword didn't fill a single line. Took more than I probably should afford the seat. Then walked back to the car in the midday heat. Windows down, going nowhere specific. Miles of road, and none of it is traffic. Singing something wrong, but singing it loud. Just a Saturday underneath the cloud. Underneath the cloud. By 4 o'clock I looped back around somehow. Ended up exactly where I started, don't know how. Sat in the driveway with the engine running low. The radio was playing something soft and slow. Neighbors walking dogs, a kid on a bike. Everything ordinary, everything just right. Thought about the people I should probably call. Turn the engine off and didn't call them all. Windows down, already home again. Nowhere that I went could be called anywhere. I sang the whole thing wrong and it sounded fine. Just a Saturday, and it was mine. Was mine, yeah. Packing bags, we're heading for the coast. This is what I love the absolute most. Radio's playing our favorite song. Don't care, we're singing it wrong. Windows down, the highway is clear. Nothing but blue skies ahead of us, dear. Forget the traffic, forget the noise. Today we're back to being girls and boys. Barefoot on the sand, feel the summer heat. Waves are crashing down right at our feet. My friends are laughing, throwing a ball, forgetting about the winter and the fall. We got a cooler Dun, 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 dun. Put my favorite sneakers on my feet, stepping out into the sunlit street. Sky so blue it feels just like a dream. Every corner's glowing, shining clean. People walking by with a smile on their face. There's a beautiful energy in this place, catching the rhythm of the weekend vibe. This is the feeling that keeps me alive. Ice inside my glass is melting slow. We ain't got no specific place to go. Maybe hit the park, sit under the tree, watch the world spin by, just you and me. No emails, check and put the phone on sleep. These are the memories we're gonna keep. Let the music play from the corner cafe. Nothing can ruin our perfect day. Feel the warmth on my shoulders, taking it in, losing track of where the hours have been. We've been working too hard, yeah, it's true, but today is for me and you. We're just rolling under the golden light. Everything is feeling so damn right. Let the breeze just take us where it goes. Sweet weekend rhythm down to our toes. Oh, we're living it up, living it free. Yeah, just the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. The afternoon is fading into gold. Another story waiting to be told. We take a walk down to the record store, flip through the pages looking for some more vintage sounds playing on the radio dial. Everything we do just makes me smile. We got the groove, we got the style. Feel the warmth on my shoulders, taking it in, losing track of where the hours have been. We've been working too hard, yeah, it's true, but today is for me and you. We're just rolling under the golden light. Hey, everything is feeling so damn right. Hey, let the breeze just take us where it goes. Sweet weekend rhythm down to our toes. Oh, we're living it up, living it free, just the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, listen to the bass line talk, keep it loose now. We don't need a map, we don't need a plan. Just walking through the city, holding your hand. Let the sunshine wash over our skin. Let the weekend joy sink right on in. We're breaking away from the weekly grind, leaving the stress and the worries behind. Supposed to be. Down to my toes, living it free, baby. Just you and me under the big blue sun. No place to rush, no things to be done. Yeah, feels so right. Yeah. Feels so right.
Sunlight creeping through the window pane, washing all the weekly blues away. Golden dust is dancing in the air. I see the gentle smile that you wear. No papers on the table, no deadlines in my head, just the warmth of the blanket on our bed. Let's just stay here for a little while. Look at the morning through your sleepy smile. The kettle singing a familiar tune, shadows moving slowly through the room. We don't even have to say a word, the sweetest silence that I've ever heard. Open up the window, let the soft breeze in, feel the morning air brushing on our skin. This is where the good days begin. Oh, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. No need to rush, no alarms are calling. Just a cup of coffee in your hand and mine. We got nothing but time. Yeah, the world can wait outside today. We're perfectly fine, just staying this way. The neighborhood is slowly waking up. I pour some more into your favorite cup. The clock is ticking, but we do not care. There is a lazy comfort in the air. We spent the whole month running in a race, but right now we are in a safe space, just watching the clouds drifting into space. Oh, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. No need to rush, no alarms are calling. Just a cup of coffee in your hand and mine. We've got nothing but time. Yeah, the world can wait outside today. We're perfectly fine, just staying this way. Sometimes life moves a little too fast, but moments like this, I want them to last. We spend all week just running in place, but right here, right now, we found our own pace. No shadows of tomorrow, no ghosts of yesterday, just the sunshine leading the way. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. No need to rush, no alarms are calling. Just a cup of coffee in your hand and mine. We've got nothing but time. Yeah, the world can wait outside today. We're perfectly fine, just staying this way. Golden ray, nothing but time, my dear. No rush at all, just you and me.
figuring it out. Stop beside the river walk, bought cheap coffee from a truck. Someone skateboarding nearby, someone trying their first cigarette. The whole city feels younger when the weather's warm like this. Even broken conversations start sounding beautiful. No destination, still we keep on driving. Open windows, loud music, that's the kind of day I need. Not a perfect kind of feeling, just a little room to breathe. Sunlight running through the backseat, old songs playing way too loud. Maybe life gets easier when you stop figuring it out. One day this will be a memory, tiny pieces of a life. The way your shoes hit the pavement, the gold color of the light. Open windows, loud music, weekend floating through the air. Nothing lasts forever, maybe that's what makes these moments rare. Open windows, loud music, city glowing soft and gold. Trying not to chase tomorrow, trying just to feel alive. Coffee stain on my favorite jeans, phone still dead from yesterday. Sunlight falling through the kitchen, guess I'll take the long way. Neighbor's dog keeps barking loud, kids are playing baseball now. Nothing really special happens, still I wanna stay outside. No plans, no rush, just driving with the windows down. Saturday sun on the dashboard, warm air moving through the car. Every little thing feels lighter when the weekend starts. This slow, we don't need a big moment, we don't need somewhere to go. Just a little music playing and the city moving slow. Stop beside a tiny market, bought a drink I didn't need. Old men laughing near the doorway, talking over soccer teams. Someone's radio keeps playing songs from 20 years ago. Funny how a random morning can feel like home somehow. No stress, no clock, just shadows dancing on the road. Saturday sun on the dashboard, warm and moving through the car. Every little thing feels lighter when the weekend starts. This slow, we don't need a big moment, we don't need somewhere to go. Just a little music playing and the city moving slow. Maybe happiness is smaller than we thought it had to be. Maybe all we really needed was a quiet Saturday breeze. Saturday sun on the dashboard, golden light across your face. Nothing's really changing, but today still feels okay. Saturday sun on the dashboard, windows open, volume low. Trying not to think
just enjoying being home.
I checked the calendar this morning out of habit. Both days blank, all week and nothing there. Sat with that for longer than I expected. The specific feeling of a day with no agenda. Made breakfast slow, the eggs that take more time, the kind I only make when nobody's waiting. Ate at the table instead of the counter. Noticed the table's a nicer place to be. Opened a book I've been meaning to read since winter. Made it through 4 chapters before the light shifted. The room went warm and golden without warning. The way some afternoons just decide to be beautiful. Put the book down and just sat in it for a while. That particular afternoon, quality of light didn't take a photo of it, which felt like the right call. Nothing on the calendar, nowhere I have to be. Nothing on the calendar, just this, just me. Went for a walk without a route or a distance, just out the door and wherever the street went. Past the park where some kids were doing something with the ball and rules I didn't understand. An old man was feeding pigeons very seriously, like it was important work, which maybe it was. The weather was exactly right, that specific temperature where you don't think about temperature at all. Nothing on the calendar, nowhere I have to be. Nothing on the calendar, just this, just me. Called my mom in the late afternoon. We talked for almost an hour about nothing specific, the kind of conversation that doesn't go anywhere and somehow leaves you feeling better than therapy. She asked what I was up to. I said not much. She said that sounds nice. I said it is. I think we both knew what we were really saying, which was just, I'm glad you called. Nothing on the calendar, nowhere I have to be. Nothing on the calendar, and that's exactly where I need to be. That's where I need to be. Sunday evening has a feeling all its own. Not sad exactly, just a specific way. The weekend settling into what it was before the week comes back and asks for things. I lit a candle and made something simple for dinner. Ate with the window open, heard the neighborhood, the specific sound of a Sunday winding down. The last of the light, the first of the dark. Nothing on the calendar, nowhere I have to be. Nothing on the calendar, just this, just me. Just this, just me. Just this. The rooftop smelled like rain before it even started. You know that smell? Concrete, humidity, electricity in the air somehow. Everybody kept checking the sky, but nobody actually wanted to leave. There were maybe 8 of us up there. Cheap drinks, half-broken speaker, one one tiny table doing its best. The city lights looked blurry tonight, like the whole skyline forgot to focus properly. Someone brought instant noodles, someone else forgot cups completely. Real organization happening. You were sitting cross-legged near the edge, talking about places you still wanted to visit someday. Not huge places either, just normal ones. Small coastal towns, train rides through nowhere, convenience stores in foreign countries. I like that. Dreams small enough to touch feel more believable somehow. Music kept cutting in and out, didn't matter. The conversations carried everything anyway. One friend admitted he still had no idea what he was doing with life. Nobody laughed. Honestly, I think everyone felt the same. Around 11, the wind changed completely, cooler suddenly. Then the rain finally started. Not dramatic movie rain, just light drops at first. Tiny circles forming on the concrete. Nobody moved immediately. That's the weird thing about good nights. People try to stay inside them too long. Eventually, though, the rain got heavier. Everybody scrambling for bags, drinks, phones, shoes. Somehow pure chaos, honestly. We ran downstairs laughing like idiots, completely soaked by the second floor. And while standing in that tiny stairwell, trying to catch our breath, you looked at all of us and said, "We're gonna miss this someday." Way too accurate, honestly.